9 U.S. cooking oil brands you must avoid, and 3 that are worth the price. You believe that cooking at home automatically makes your food healthier. You believe that as long as you avoid fast food, you're doing things right. You believe that the oil you use every single day is just oil. But it's not. The cooking oil sitting in your kitchen right now may be one of the most constant sources of inflammation, metabolic stress, and hormonal disruption in your daily diet. Not because you're using it wrong, not because you cook too often, but because most popular cooking oils in the United States were never designed for human health. They were designed for shelf life, for extreme heat, for profit. Most Americans have no idea how these oils are actually made. They imagine olives being gently pressed, seeds being naturally squeezed, something simple and old-fashioned. But the reality is industrial, violent, chemical. Many of the best-selling cooking oils in the U.S. are extracted using high heat, petroleum-based solvents like hexane, deodorized to remove rancid smells, bleached to look appealing, and then flavored just enough to seem neutral. By the time they reach your pan, they're chemically stable, but biologically damaging. And here's the most uncomfortable part. These oils are marketed as heart-healthy, as doctor recommended, as better than butter. Some are even labeled natural. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to break down 9 cooking oil brands sold across the United States that you should seriously reconsider using. These are oils millions of families cook with every day. Oils trusted by habit, tradition, and marketing, not by science. We'll start with the most famous brands, the ones almost every American recognizes. Then we'll move deeper into the cheap, industrial options hiding in plain sight. And finally, at the end of this video, I'll show you 3 cooking oils sold in the US that are actually worth the higher price because they're processed differently, behave differently in your body, and don't quietly sabotage your health. If you cook for yourself, if you cook for your family, if you think oil is oil, you need to hear this. Let's start with a brand that feels harmless because it's been in American kitchens for generations. Mazola. Mazola is one of the most recognizable cooking oil brands in the United States. That yellow bottle, the simple label, the promise of pure corn oil. For decades, Mazola has positioned itself as a wholesome, everyday choice for American families. But corn oil is one of the most aggressively industrialized oils on the market. Corn doesn't naturally release oil easily. To extract it, manufacturers grind the kernels, heat them to extreme temperatures, and use chemical solvents, most commonly hexane, to separate the oil from the plant matter. What comes out is not food-grade oil. It's a crude industrial substance that must be refined, bleached, and deodorized to become edible. By the time Mazola reaches your stove, it's been stripped of any natural antioxidants and loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. These fats are not inherently evil, but in the quantities found in corn oil, they push the body toward chronic inflammation, and Americans already consume excessive omega-6 fats daily. Cooking with corn oil repeatedly exposes your body to oxidized fats, especially at high heat. These oxidized compounds are linked to inflammation, insulin resistance, and cardiovascular stress. Yet Mazola continues to market itself as heart-friendly. Families trust it because it's familiar, because it's cheap, because it's always been there. But longevity doesn't equal safety. It just means the marketing worked. And the next oil on this list is even more aggressively promoted as healthy. Wesson Vegetable Oil. Wesson Vegetable Oil sounds harmless, almost comforting. The word vegetable gives the illusion of freshness and balance, but vegetable oil is one of the most misleading labels in American grocery stores. Wesson's vegetable oil is primarily made from soybeans, and soybean oil dominates the American food system more than almost any other fat. It's in packaged foods, fast food, restaurant kitchens, and home cooking. Like corn oil, soybean oil requires high heat processing and chemical solvents to extract. The oil is then refined and deodorized to remove the rancid odors created during processing. What's left is a highly unstable oil that oxidizes easily when heated. Soybean oil is extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. Excessive intake has been associated with inflammation, altered gut bacteria, and metabolic dysfunction. Some studies suggest it may contribute more to obesity and insulin resistance than sugar itself. Yet Wesson proudly markets this oil as a clean, neutral, everyday cooking solution. Parents cook with it without thinking, restaurants use it in bulk, and most people never question it. But once you understand how often this oil is heated, reused, and oxidized in American kitchens, it becomes clear why it shows up so frequently in studies on chronic disease. And the next brand takes this same formula and sells it even harder. Crisco oil. Crisco is a name deeply embedded in American food culture. For many families, it represents tradition, baking, frying, home cooking passed down through generations. But Crisco's cooking oils are the definition of industrial fats. Whether it's soybean oil, canola oil, or blends, Crisco oils are heavily refined, chemically extracted, and engineered for shelf stability, not human biology. These oils are designed to survive months or years without spoiling. Real food doesn't behave that way. During high-heat cooking, Crisco oils oxidize rapidly, producing aldehydes and other toxic byproducts that stress the liver and cardiovascular system. These compounds don't disappear when food cools. They're consumed. Crisco built its reputation on replacing natural fats with industrial alternatives. And while marketing has evolved, the core product hasn't. The brand survives on trust, on nostalgia, on the assumption that if Grandma used it, it must be fine. But what came from factories then hasn't improved with time. It's just been normalized. And next, we move to an oil that pretends to be premium. Bertolli Light Taste. Olive oil. Bertolli is associated with Italian heritage, olive groves, Mediterranean health. But the words light taste should immediately raise a red flag. Real olive oil has flavor, aroma, character. When olive oil is labeled light, it doesn't mean lighter calories. It means the oil has been heavily refined. Bertolli Light Taste. Olive oil is not extra virgin. It's a refined olive oil blended with other processed oils, stripped of antioxidants and polyphenols, the very compounds that make olive oil beneficial. Refining removes bitterness, but it also removes protection. What remains is a fat that behaves more like seed oil under heat. Consumers pay a premium believing they're making a healthier choice, but in reality, they're buying marketing, not nutrition. And the next oil on this list is one of the most misunderstood of all. Canola oil, multiple US brands. Canola oil is often marketed as heart-healthy, doctor-approved, and low in saturated fat. It sounds scientific, responsible, smart. But canola oil is derived from rapeseed, originally toxic to humans until it was genetically modified. The oil extraction process involves extreme heat and chemical solvents, followed by heavy refining. Canola oil oxidizes easily when heated, and once oxidized, it produces compounds linked to inflammation and oxidative stress. Despite its clean image, it behaves poorly in real-world cooking. It's cheap, it's everywhere, and it's rarely questioned. But the science doesn't match the marketing. We've already covered some of the most familiar oils sitting in American kitchens. Oils trusted because they're common, because they're cheap, because no one ever told you to question them. Now we move into the oils that are even more aggressively industrial, more damaging under heat, and more deeply embedded in everyday cooking than most people realize. And then, at the end, we close the loop with real solutions. Generic vegetable oil, store brands. Walk into any US supermarket and you'll see it. Vegetable oil. No specifics, no clarity, just a cheap, massive bottle promising versatility. This is one of the most misleading products in American grocery stores. Generic vegetable oil is usually a blend of soybean oil, corn oil, and sometimes canola oil. Whatever is cheapest at the time. The source can change without you ever knowing. The label doesn't require transparency. These oils are extracted using chemical solvents, refined at extreme temperatures, bleached, and deodorized. By the time they reach your pan, they're biologically empty fats, high in omega-6s, low in antioxidants, and extremely prone to oxidation. When heated, they break down rapidly, forming inflammatory compounds that stress your liver and cardiovascular system. And because they're cheap, people use them generously and repeatedly. This oil isn't designed to nourish you. It's designed to disappear into food unnoticed. And that's what makes it dangerous. Grapeseed oil, mass market brands. Grapeseed oil is often marketed as clean, light, and high-end. It sounds sophisticated, almost healthy. But here's the truth. Grapeseed oil is a byproduct of the wine industry. Grape seeds don't naturally produce oil in meaningful amounts. Extracting it requires chemical solvents and intense refining. The oil is extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids and very low in protective antioxidants once processed. Despite its high smoke point on paper, it oxidizes easily and produces harmful byproducts when heated. People buy grapeseed oil thinking they're upgrading. In reality, they're just choosing a more expensive version of the same industrial problem. The branding is clean, the process is not. Peanut oil, refined, non-cold pressed. Peanut oil is popular in American frying because it handles heat well. But most peanut oil sold in US supermarkets is heavily refined. That refining removes allergens, but it also removes nutrients. What's left is a fat stripped of natural protection, optimized for deep fryers, not daily home cooking. Repeated heating causes oxidation, especially in commercial and home reuse. And for families with peanut sensitivities, the perception of safety creates false confidence. This oil was built for restaurants, not long-term health. Palm oil blends, cooking and frying oils. Palm oil often appears blended into cooking oils or sold as high-heat frying oil. It's cheap, extremely shelf-stable, and aggressively used in processed foods. The issue isn't just nutrition, it's quality. Refined palm oil is high in saturated fat, stripped of antioxidants, and often repeatedly heated in commercial settings. Its stability comes at the cost of metabolic stress when consumed regularly. Palm oil isn't meant to be a daily home staple, yet it quietly appears in many cooking oil blends across the US, and that completes the list of oils you should seriously reconsider using. Now, let's talk about solutions. Oil's worth the price. This is where most videos stop. Fear, confusion. Everything is bad. That's not the goal here. There are cooking oils sold in the United States that behave differently. Oils that don't rely on chemical extraction. Oils that remain stable under heat. Oils that actually support human health. Here are 3. Extra virgin olive oil, real single-origin brands. Real extra virgin olive oil is mechanically pressed. No solvents, no refining, no deodorizing. It contains polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that protect the oil and your body. Contrary to popular myth, high-quality extra virgin olive oil is stable for most home cooking. The key is authenticity, single origin, harvest dates, dark bottles. Yes, it costs more, but you use less, and your body pays less later. Avocado oil, cold-pressed, refined carefully. High-quality avocado oil has a high smoke point and a favorable fat profile. It's rich in monounsaturated fats and remains stable under heat. The best avocado oils are cold-pressed or minimally refined and clearly labeled. When real, they're one of the safest options for high-heat cooking sold in the US. Avoid blends. Avoid vague labels. Grass-fed butter or GHE. Not an oil, but an honest fat. Grass-fed butter and ghee are naturally stable, minimally processed, and free from industrial solvents. Ghee, in particular, handles heat exceptionally well. For thousands of years, humans cooked with natural fats. The problems began when factories replaced tradition with chemistry. Most Americans think cooking oil is a minor detail, something neutral, something interchangeable. It's not. The oil you use every day quietly shapes inflammation, metabolism, and long-term health. And many of the most popular oils in the United States were never meant to nourish you, only to survive shelves and maximize profit. Now, you know the difference. You know which oils are industrial shortcuts, which ones are marketed lies, and which ones are actually worth paying for. So, do this today. Check your kitchen, read the labels, question the bottle you've been using out of habit. If this investigation opened your eyes, support this work. Like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, because once you see what's really in your food, you don't unsee it. And the more people who know, the harder it becomes to hide.